But do you think it is a harmony?
Really? It was too loud? Okay. But I'm still live? Okay, good. Okay, good. So, everybody, hello. So nice to be back on our YouTube live for some classes today. Will be a stretch class. So, I will be working on some mobility, also some stretches and releases using therapy balls. So I'm using a couple of tune-up balls. You can also use tennis balls, or if you have pinky balls, that would work just as well. And we're not going to use them all the time. So say you don't have those, you can do at least the beginning of the class, because we'll just be doing body weight exercises. So I also have a block handy here that if you have that, great. Some of the positions will be in a bridge position, and I'll show you how to support your pelvis if you need. All right, so we will get started, and make sure we have some music here. Can you turn it up a little bit, or the music's not working? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, all right. So let's start. Okay, all good. So let's all start actually on all fours. Okay, so finding your neutral table position. So I'm gonna start with some warm up of your spine. Just gonna getting the body prepared for our release work. So spreading your fingertips nice and evenly, your knees are stacked right underneath your hips, and your shoulders right over your wrists. So on your exhale, very slowly tilt your tailbone in, start pushing the floor away with your hands, keep your arms nice and firm, and then start rounding your back as you tilt your chin in and look towards your navel. Shoulder blades down. As you inhale, let's reverse this movement. So let the chest drop, lift your sits bone, spread your collarbones, and open your throat. And again, exhale, press and round. So just that first check in with your spine. Inhale, shoulder blades down, arch. Shoulders moving away from your ears. Again, we'll do two more like this. So again, rounding your spine. Stretch right between your shoulder blades. And then inhale and drop the belly, sits bones high. Gaze up. And again, one more time. And maybe you're already observing any areas in your back where you feel tension, or you're just a little bit more aware. And then inhale and come to your extension. And now let's find your neutral table. So draw those ribs in towards each other so you feel a little bit of that core active here. And let's go ahead and take a side bend. So this one you'll drop the right shoulder towards your right hip, looking over your right shoulder. And then you come back to center, and then other side. Okay, so there's a little bit of side activation here. So we're waking up the side of your back, stretching the opposite side. So looking back at your right shoulder, right hip, and then back to center and to the left. And as you, again, look back, you're also side bending through your neck. So it's that lateral flexion of your spine here. And just one more time, each side, to the right and to the left. Okay, one more. Moving to your left. And let's come back to center. So square everything off. And then from here, bring your feet towards each other, knees slightly apart, and walk your hands out a little bit. So So from here, we're just gonna move the hips back in space and then shift forward. Okay, so it's like an extended child's pose, but we're moving through it. So shifting back and then forward. And one more time, shift back. So now we're gonna do a little bit more circular movement here. So we're starting to release into the hips and the back. So you're gonna go to the right, to the left, to the center, and continue this direction. So shift your hips over to the right, come over to your left, and then shift forward. And then one more time, go right, left, and to the center. Pause here, and let's go the other direction. So you're gonna shift to the left, go back to the right, come on to center. Again, go left, and back and around to center. And then one more time, to the left, back and around, and to the center. And then find your neutral again. Let's go ahead and bring your feet hip width apart, so back to your neutral table position. All right, so we'll take the right hand slightly forward, and then your left knee slightly forward. Okay, so you're in like a little offset position with the hand and with the knee. Okay, and then from here, you're gonna let your head drop, allow your shoulder blades to wing in, so you release everything, and let's bring your hips back in space. But keep that hand slightly in front and your knee slightly in front. And then you come back to center. And then again, let your shoulder blades wing in, let your head drop, and then stretch back. Okay, and do this again. So shifting forward. And as you exhale, let your upper body drop, let your head drop, and then go back as you inhale. Stretch back. All right, one more time. Again, shoulder blades together, let your head drop, and then inhale back. So we're creating space in the back right now. All right, realigning the pelvis. Bring it back to neutral. We'll take your left hand that's slightly in front, and it's just a few inches out, and then the right knee. So it's opposite hand to knee. Okay, and then from here, the first thing you do is as you exhale, let everything relax, your head, upper body, and then sink back. Shift your hips back in space. And then again, shift forward. And then exhale, drop, and stretch back. 2 more times. Again, exhale, release, hips back. And then back to center. And then one more time here. So again, sink, back, and then come back to center. Now, hands and knees, they're back to neutral. Let's just take one cat-cow to reset. So again, press and round like we did before. Pull the navel in, shoulder blades slide down as you come back to your extended position. And then come back to your neutral, hug your ribs in, and sit back. All right, good. So we're gonna come down onto your back, lying down, okay? And I wanna do a little bit of a chest opener to start. So doesn't matter which side you are on, but you'll bring both knees over to one side, and you'll extend the same arm straight in front of you. So hips are at 90 degrees, and your knees are at 90 degrees. And then you'll stack both hands, okay? So keeping the legs in the same position, the first movement will be to open the top arm. And you're gonna come back. Okay, and then we come back to center. Again, palms together. And let's open the arm. So we're stretching the interior part of your chest, the shoulders. Again, inhale, open. open. And then exhale to close. And just 2 more times like this. So open. So the hips are not moving. The knees stay stacked. You're moving your thoracic spine. And then one last time. This time, let's hold here. And encourage that shoulder to roll down. It may not get all the way down. But keep the arm active, so you're actively reaching those fingertips out. And then if you'd like to include the neck here, you'll turn your head to look over that arm. Take some nice, deep thoracic breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Melt that shoulder. And just one more deep breath in. Exhale fully. Let's release the arm and switch side. So you can go directly onto the other side. I'm just going to spin around. Okay, so same position. So you find that 90-90. Take the bottom arm in front of you. Slide that shoulder down away from your ear. And you can stack your hands. So the head can be off the floor when you start here, because we're not going to stay here. Eventually we roll out. Okay? So let's do that again. So close. And then on your inhale, open the chest. And I have to admit, I have not been doing enough stretching. Right? We started classes or outdoor classes, and I've been missing out on that stuff. So this is good. This is good. We're doing it. All right. So open it up. And then close, and we're gonna go 2 more like this. So again, inhale. And open. And then last time, we'll just keep it. So just hold it here for a couple breaths. So again, roll that top shoulder down. And then actively reach those fingertips. Space, so we're getting some nice opening into the back body, but getting also the pecs, the anterior shoulder. And you can rotate the head a little more. One more deep inhale. And then exhale. From here, let's just bring your knees towards your chest. All right, and hug your knees in. Okay, so give yourself a little hug here. Maybe a little roll side to side, just massage your back. Okay. So we're just gonna go into side bending on your back. We did a little bit of this on all fours in the beginning. So stretch your legs, take in the width of the mat, okay, and stretch your arms overhead. One of my favorite exercises here. So we're gonna grab your right wrist with your left hand, and then actively reach the arm back. The first movement is to start to lower the left shoulder towards your left hip. So you side bend. Okay, so you crease up in the left waist so you can open up that right side. All right, from here, slide your right foot towards your left. So you're increasing that side bend, but don't let the right hip hike up, so keep both sides of your pelvis rooted. And then should you want a little more, maybe you'll take the right ankle above your left. Encourage the right hip to roll down, side bend. So if you visualize like a palm tree, that kind of looks like that maybe. Or a willow. I was thinking maybe like a willow. Yeah, like a willow. Remember those trees from Normandy where I'm from. Okay, so getting a nice side body stretch here. Some nice thoracic breathing. And then slowly release. Let's do this on the other side. So release that side bend. Take the right foot to the right edge of your mats. Then grab your left wrist. Inhale, reach. And make sure you don't like sway into that low back. So keep your ribs packed in towards each other. So you keep a little bit of core engagement here, and then side bend. So just draw the right ribs closer to your right side pelvis. Okay, pause here, or start to slide your left foot towards your right. So you're increasing that side bend. So you're increasing the stretch on the whole left side of your body. And then we'll cross the leg over. So we are going to get into like the ball release. We'll be using those therapy balls and getting to that QL muscle, that side bending muscle in your back. So right now, just creating more space. One more deep inhale. And long exhale. And let's come back to center. Uncross the legs. All right. And hug your knees into your chest. So little hug here again, just moving across side to side. Okay, so we're going to keep working on that space in your back. Let's take your arms straight out to your side. Bend both knees so your knees start stacked right over your hips. 90-degree angle with your knees. Take an inhale, then on your exhale, we'll rotate. Take your knees towards your right side, but you'll just hover the knees off the floor here. So those two movements, those two exercises we did before, remember that the arm open, so getting into that rotation. So it's the same movement, except now you're also using your core to hold here, bring it back to center, and then over to your left side. So right shoulder stays heavy. And you're also feeling the stretch in the side body that, again, we were looking for when we did the side bending. All right, so now we're going to continue moving from side to side. So exhale, rotate to your right, pause here, and then stretch your left leg across. So get a little bit longer, reach actively, and then come back to center, bend both knees, and then over to your left side. Revolve, pause, stretch your right leg, reach across, so actively. You may feel a sensation here in your IT band, outer hamstring, back to center, and again, over to your right side, pause, stretch the top leg, reach across, keep pressing that hip away from your shoulder, bring it back to center, again to your left, right leg long, reach, nail that right shoulder down, come back to center, one more time each way, to your right side, left leg stretches across, and if it's too much, you can keep both knees bent. Come to center, and then one more time over to your left. So noticing how your spine moves today. And then come back to center, hug your knees into your chest. A little hug here again, side to side. Okay, let's bring your right knee to your chest, and then your left leg long. Good, from here, let's just circle the knee around one direction. So we're just getting some hip mobility in the next segment here, and then reverse. So nice and easy circles here, keeping your pelvis stable. And then hold here in the center. Right knee holds on to your, right hand holds on to your right knee. And let's take the right knee out to the right side. And then bring it back to center. And then again, right knee to the right side. Back to center. Again, right knee side. Bring it back to center. One more time. You're going to hold that right knee to the side. So keep the left hip rooted. And then stretch your left foot out to the left a few inches. Okay, one more breath here. And bring it back to center. Hug your knee to your chest. Switch leg, left knee in. Stretch the right leg long. Okay, and then circle the knee. Okay, so just moving that thigh bone inside of the hip socket. Release, other direction. Circle, circle. Okay, and then pause here again. Left hand on your left knee and just open that knee to the side, keeping the right hip rooted. Bring it back to center. Again, knee to the side. So if it's helpful, you could bring your right hand on your right hip, encourage it down, again to the side. Bring it back to center, and then one more time to the side, this time hold. Okay. And then slide the right foot out to the right. a little bit. Pause here again. All right, and then bring it back to center. Knee to chest, both knees in. Thread the needle, cross the right ankle over your left, externally rotating your hip. And we are gonna get into the hips today. So the first thing we'll do is rest your arms to your side, and then tap the foot down, and then bring your foot up, your left foot that is. All right, so again, tap the foot. So be sure that right ankle is flexed. Push your thigh out. So making it a little bit dynamic in the beginning. Tap and lift. Again, tap, lift, and hold. So without drawing the leg in, just actively bring the leg towards you. The left leg. Keep the right thigh moving away from your right shoulder. So actively pressing it out. Okay, and then slowly release. Switch. Left ankle above. Roll the thigh open. And again, arms just resting by your side. Not using the upper body for this one yet. And then lower. Again. Flow the right leg. Keep that foot flexed. And release. Again. Lift. And lower. One more time. Lift and hold. Just one more breath here. Very good. And then release. Uncross the leg. So moving a little more towards mobility. Bring hands behind your head. Lace the fingertips. Then float the chest up. Okay. All right. Oops. Come on up. Okay. So in this position, let's go ahead and take your left leg straight. Rotate towards your bent right knee. And then come to center. Like a bicycle, okay? But I'm gonna add hip mobility to this. So right now, press. So keep your knee over your hip. So rather than bring the knee close to you, keep the knee parked over hips. Come back to center, and again, rotate. So lifting the upper body. Come back to center. Keep the shoulder blades off the floor. And now, as you come to center, let's bring your knees wide. And then rotate and open. Rotate and open. Rotate, so like frog legs. Open. Rotate. Open. Again. Rotate and open. Rotate and open. Keep the lift of your shoulder blades. Last 4. Open. Last 3. Open. We got 2 more. Rotate. Open. 1 more. Rotate. Open. Now keep the lift of your shoulder blades. Bring your legs straight up to the sky. Keep the head resting in your fingertips. And then from here, let's go ahead and take your legs wide and together. Okay? So open, close your legs. Pushing out and zip your legs together. Again, out and together. 2 more times. Keep your ribs in, keep your low back resting on the ground. And then next time, keep your legs wide. Okay, now we're gonna rotate your legs around. So the right leg will go down as your left leg will go up. And I would start a little smaller circles on this one. And then the other direction, or they call half circles. All right, so out and around. And then close, out and around. Keep the lift of your shoulders. And cross the legs. So try to cross the midline on each side. Just a little bit, crossing that midline. Scissor your legs. Keep the lift. All right, so we're gonna add rotation to this. So as your right leg's on top, you'll rotate towards your right, come around, and then rotate towards your left. Yep. So it's those helicopter legs, and we're adding the rotation. Couple more times, that's it. Yeah, it's probably like the most work you'll do. Right there. 1 more. And back to center. Close your legs. Hug your knees into your chest. All right. That was a little core. Sorry, I can't help myself. Hug your knees in. Roll. Side, side. Okay. And let's roll it up. Ooh. Okay. And let's come on to your knees. One more time. Okay. So let's go into the next movement, which will bring you this time onto hands and knees. Okay, so going back to the hand and knees. So find your neutral table again. You'll pick up your right knee, or whichever knee, doesn't matter. Ribs in. Okay, and then you're gonna externally rotate. Bring your knee to the side. Bring it down and up. Okay, so it's out, down, and up. Knee circles. Now, if this bothers your wrist for some reason, feel free to do this on your forearms. We're actually going to get on the forearms very soon. Okay, and let's reverse this. So now out to the side first. Now internally rotate and then bring it down. Out to the side and then internally rotate that lifted leg and down. So it's out, in, and down. One more time. Out, in, and down. Reach the right leg straight back. Stretch your left arm. Again, you can be on your forearm if you need to on this one. Just a bird dog. Stretching the leg long. And set it down. Second side. So, left knee will come up first. You'll bring your knee in. Forgot how I started it. So bring your knee up, out and around. I think that's what I did. And then down. Again, knee up, out. So externally rotate. And then bring your leg in. Up. Externally rotate. And down. One more time here. Okay. Then pause. Just 4 times. Take it out to the side first. Then internally rotate to bring it back to neutral. And then back in and down. Again, to the left. Then pull it back in. Knee down. 2 more. Out. Around. And down. One more time. Out. Around it up. And down. Good. All right. So hopefully you could feel the hips here working for you. So let's get started on your elbows. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here, and I like to do this for the calves to start. So we're actually going to work on releasing the calves, stretching a bit of the hamstrings, and you'll see how the calf stretching really facilitates hamstring stretches. And we're just going to be using the ball afterwards, okay? So the first thing you'll do is on your elbows, okay? So you look forward, okay? Brace. So you're going to pick up your left knee, and then you're going to bring, so I would bring your elbows out just a tiny bit so you have a little space here, and then you'll bring that left knee right at the top of your right calf, okay? So you're adding a little resistance here. So you're going to push down onto your calf, okay? And starting right in the middle, so right below your knee, okay? And then we're just going to very slowly straighten your left leg. And then bend. So your knees digging into the muscle fibers. All right, so like you're giving yourself a little massage here. So stretch the leg very slowly, bring it back in. Now, if you want a little more, you'll walk your elbows back, same position, and then straighten. You can also start to shift your hips back in space a little bit, and then bring it back to center, bend your knee. Again. So extend the leg. As you maybe shift your hips back in space. All right, bring it back up. Sensation there? I bet you do. Back. And the slower you do this, the better it is. Again, back. Yep, and then back up. So the next thing you'll do is now you'll wiggle the left foot, over to the right, and then over to the left. It's a little bit side to side here. Yep. Side to side. Now keep your left foot to the left, and let's do that again. So sit back, extend the leg a little bit, and then back up. Again. So your option to make this easier is to have your elbows further forward and to maybe not sink the hips back. Okay, one more time this direction. So again, your left foot is to the left. Back in. And now come back to center with the foot and now take it over to the right. So bring it across your midline. Okay, so you're a little bit more on the outer edge of your calf here. And then same thing, you'll extend the leg. And then back up. Again, extend. Come up, one more time. Extend, shifting back. And then back up. Release. Good, come on up. All right, so we'll come into downward facing dog. And we were stretching the right where I was, so hopefully you were too, otherwise you're on the other side. Hands down, stretch back, and come into down dog. Okay, and check in with the right and the left, the whole back of your leg. How does this feel? You could also do a dolphin here on your elbows if for some reason your wrists don't take that, but really push back and notice if the right heel just feels more in contact with the floor. For me, it does. Okay, so we've opened up that whole calf, but it really also affects, how the hamstrings, the whole body's connected. It's not isolated parts. So you're really getting more length in the whole back side of your right leg. And then bring it down, okay? And then we'll do the same on the other side, okay? So again, you drop to your forearms. So I'll face this direction. So we'll be on your left, okay? So again, start with your elbows slightly out in front of you, okay? And then you'll pick up your right knee and then bring the right knee the very top of your calf to start, okay? So you're like behind, okay? And then from here, you're just going to start to very slowly extend the right knee. Back up. So again, the further out your knees for this one, the less intense it is. So if you know you want to take it a little bit further, maybe you walk your elbows back a little bit, and again, very slow, extend the leg. And then bend, so you dig into that calf. So I'm not going to do the roll with but next time I will do it, because you can actually use the tuna balls or any balls to stretch your calf. But this really does the same thing. The only difference with this is you have to be on your forearm, so it might be for some of you a little more challenging to kind of be on the forearms for that long. Okay, so stand. And then next time you hold, and now start to wiggle that foot from side to side. It's a little cross friction here. And you can explore this. Maybe you're like, okay, I can go a little bit lower into my calf, so you can work more towards the belly of the calf muscle here. And now next time your right foot is to the right, you hold. And then maybe start to shift your hips back as you extend the knee. And then you come back in. And then again, super slow. Okay, here we go. And then back up. You're moving through Jala. One more time here on that side. Extending the right leg. Back to center. And now externally rotate, so bring your leg across to the left. Right leg to the left, yes, it was right. And then extend the leg as you shift back in space. Come back up. Again. And most likely, some different areas of your calf you'll feel a little bit more. So for me, I feel a lot my lateral side, my outer side, because I tend to roll on the outer edge of my foot. So a lot of the aches and the pains or simply soreness or more sensation you feel in your calves also have to do with your stride or your heel, your strike when your foot hits the ground, when you walk, when you run. So you'll start creating patterns in your body, and then maybe the muscles get tighter. All right, one more time here. And then slowly release. All right, and for your final check, so again, come out. It's quite a bit on the shoulders, I realize that. So again, I just want to show you that in case you do not have balls or anything. And I think it's a great thing to do, especially if you're active, to really get into those calves. So From here, just come back to one more downward facing dog. Stretch back. And you could, by the way, do this, like if you had a table, you can bring your hands on the table and do the same thing, okay? And then check in. Do you feel a more ease on that left side? Are you more even right and left here? Melting the chest back. All right, pushing back into the legs so you feel a little less on the shoulders. So actively stand on both feet. Okay, and let's go ahead and look forward and come on down. We're gonna lay onto our back. Okay, and now we're gonna be using our balls for the next few sets here, okay? So lying down, check in. Rest your arms to your side. So have the balls together to start, okay? So 2 balls. Again, if say you don't have the 2 balls, and some of you may have like a larger ball, you could use that instead for the first set here of exercises we'll do. We'll take those 2 balls right beneath your sacrum. Okay, so you're below your spine and you're above your tailbone. Okay, so the sacrum bone right underneath your spine. You have the 2 balls, they're side by side. And separate your feet and let your arms relax. Okay, so we're just not going to be using the upper body much right now in the beginning here. So take a moment to let the shoulders drop. And then we're just going to start with some tilts of your pelvis. So you're going to tilt your tailbone up and then release your tailbone back down. Okay, so you're just rocking the pelvis. So up, tailbone lift, feel your core start to turn on, and then allow the tailbone to drop. So notice how your pelvis moves. Okay, so anterior tilt to posterior tilt here, and then release. Okay, so do this a couple more times. So tilt your tailbone up, squeeze those glutes a little bit. So the frontal hip points, the lift up towards your rib cage, and then the frontal part of your hips, they move away from your rib cage. One more time here. Tilt, and then untilt. And now find your neutral, so that place where your pelvis is neutral, so it's the frontal hip points, they're parallel with the ground. And here, just shift your hips from side to side. So a little sway to the right and to the left, like scrubbing that sacrum. Okay, so a little roll side to side, and you can even make it a little faster here. So stimulating the lower fibers of the trunk here, of the back body. So lats, rector muscles, a lot of those fibers, they kind of converge right in your sacrum. So you're stimulating that area here. And then let's go ahead and circle the pelvis one direction. Roll, and then reverse the other direction. All right. And then pause, nice deep breath. And then let's lift your hips and slide the balls up so they're now on each side of your lower back. Okay, so on each side of your spine. So we were right in the sacrum here in the bone. So now you're moving up. So if you're looking at where your navel is, you'll place the 2 balls on each side right in the back of your navel. Okay, so in the soft tissue of your back. Okay. So balls, they're a little bit apart on this one, so not quite touching, but fairly close to the spine. And let's start to lift your hips up again. All right. So coming into like a tilt, that pelvic tilt, tailbone up, and then allow the hips to drop back down. Okay, so let's do that again. So arms relaxed by your side. You can turn your palms up. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, lower. Sinking down. 2 more times here, lift. And lower. Noticing tilt of your pelvis, tilting up and down. All right, from here, let's lift your hips up. You're gonna hold, and very small movement. You're gonna move your hips side to side, but super small. Okay, so you're releasing right on the side of your back, rector spinae muscle. Okay, little scrub side to side, and travel down a little bit as you do that. And a little bit side to side. So you're now a little bit lower than when you started. Pause here again. And then tilt your hips up again, squeeze your glute. And then release the glutes as you bring your hips back down. Okay, let's do this again. Tilt up. And lower. And then 2 more. Curl up. And lower. And then once more, this time hold. A little side to side. And then release the ball, remove them from under. Roll yourself up, and let's take the balls back to the same position, but I need you to be in this position, okay? It's a little easier to get into. So you're gonna start right here, okay? You're on your elbows. Then you're gonna lift your hips a little bit here. So you lift your hips up a little bit, tuck your chin in. And here we're just going to roll. So you're gonna push with your feet, and you're just gonna roll up and down. So alongside the spine, forward and back. Okay. Just a couple more like this. Up and down. And then one more. Up and down. Good. Remove the balls. Lay down. So we're going to take one ball here. If you have one of the alpha balls, the bigger size ball, feel free to use one of those. That would work a little better. A couple things you can do here with the 2 is you can use 2 balls in line with each other. So like stacked up like an 8, and you put it to the right of your spine. Or you can just do 1 ball. This tends to be a little small for just using 1 ball, but that would work as well. So you kind of play with it, either 2 balls stacked, 1 of these smaller balls, or if you have a bigger ball, you take a bigger ball, okay? I know, many options. But the ball is to the right of your spine here. So now, lifting your hips up, we're just going to start to sway your hips. Take 2 to start here. So you're gonna sway your hips towards your left, and then start to drop the right knee out to the right, okay? So you're gonna glide your hips over to your left as you start to steer your right knee down, okay? So that's glide and drop. So like you're dragging that ball across the fascia of your back, the width of your back, and then you come back in. All right, couple more like this. Glide and drop. Back to center, 1 more. So the next time you come out, you'll hold and drop the right knee all the way down. So this is when, if you have a block, this might be handy to just rest your head down on the block. You can also use your bottom arm as a pillow, or you can use a pillow. I'm sure everybody has a pillow at home. So grab something. If you don't have it, we'll wait for you. Okay, so we're right here on the side. So I'm going to just use 1. So ideally for this, 1 might work a little better. Just because you don't want to crush your ribs here. So you want that ball to be like as a sandwich between the bottom of your rib cage and the top part of your pelvis, but you're on the side, okay? So you're gonna have that ball right here on the side. So it's right between your ribs and above your pelvis, so it fits right there. Okay, and remember when we did the side bending, at some point, I had you do side bend in all 4, and then we did it lying down. So we're actually getting right into that muscle with the ball, okay? So again, leaning to the side, having your head supported, will bring you to the right position. So you're on the outside, okay? The right knee's on the ground. Take a deep inhale, and then exhale, sink into the ball. So it's a little bit even more of a forceful or exaggerated breath. So I like to put my top hand on my rib cage, and I'll take some thoracic breath here. So I'm going to inhale deep, pushing my hand away. And then as I exhale, I allow my weight to sink into the ball. Okay? And try this one more time here. Inhale deep. And then exhale. Sink. Okay, next thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to bring my bottom knee up and down a few times. Okay, so you can bring the knee in and down. One more. And down. Good. From here, take a deep inhale. Now as you exhale, you'll do a side bend. So you're going to try to bring the bottom rib and the bottom pelvis closer together. So you're squeezing that ball and then release. So another way you could do this is bring your hand behind your head and then you can side bend. So you can draw the bottom rib and pelvis closer together, adding that lateral flexion, and then release. And then again, side bend, draw the ribs so you're actively contracting. And then release. And then one more time, side bend. And you can find a spot here. So maybe you need to roll back a little bit so you feel that work. And then hold it here. And slowly release and roll on up. Okay. From here, let's take the ball to the left. So I'm just going to move around here. Okay. And we'll do the same exact sequence. So again, you'll want the ball to the left of your spine. Okay. And again, if you, depending what size ball you have, if you have the two only for that first one, probably would work well to just keep the two balls stacked like an 8, and then you'll start to shift your hips right, drop your left knee. So you glide and drop. Okay, glide and drop. So we'll go one more round here. And then let's pause as you lean to your left. So as you come all the way out, again, maybe you just drop one of the two balls and then you grab your block or whatever you have, your pillow, so you can start to lean more sideways, okay? So again, make sure that ball is not on your ribs. It's definitely below the ribs. It's in the soft tissue. Keep a little bit of that tilt of your pelvis here. Okay, so you want to keep your tailbone drawing in. And you can bring that right hand on your rib cage one more time, and let's take some thoracic breath. So inhale deep, and then exhale long. Again, inhale, feel the ribs, and then exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Now to bring your left knee up and then down. And just move it in and out a few times. In and out. One more time. And out. So contract, release here. You can simply exhale, draw the ribs and pelvis together like you're doing a little crunch. And then release. You can keep your head on the block or hand behind your head. Okay, and then you'll side bend. So you draw the ribs and pelvis together, contracting that muscle, and then release. So we're trying to get into that QL muscle, your quadratus lumborum muscle, and it's a muscle that flexes your spine to the side bends your spine. Release, and then one more time here, again contract. And release. Very nice release all the way down. Remove the ball for now. Take your second ball. Okay? And now we'll take those two balls. So we're going to try to get more into the hips for this set here. See how long I got. Not too long. Okay. So we want the balls to be right at that space here. So if you can locate your posterior superior iliac spine, which is the very top of your pelvis on the back, and you'll want the balls on each side. So it kind of looks like this, okay? So lying down, and you take the balls right there, okay? So should be right in the muscle, and you're gonna bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees drop, okay? So this is like the reclined bound angle, if you know yoga. Just let the soles of your feet come together, okay? And make sure the ball, so we're no longer in the sacrum, you're on the outside and upper part, okay? So you're right underneath that pelvis. Let your knees drop, okay? And again, we'll take some nice deep breaths, so just couple, inhale deep. And then exhale. One more. So the next thing you'll do is a little bit contraction and release. So again, inhale deep, exhale. So now you're gonna squeeze your glutes. So clench your buttocks and then release. Let it drop. Again, squeeze, contract, and then release. One more time, contract, and release. From here, you can use your hands, bring your knees back in. Feet press into the ground, lift your hips. Take the two balls stacked up vertical to the right of your sacrum, okay? Separate your feet a little bit. Start to shimmy your hips to your left as you drop your right knee. Again, some of you may have a bigger ball, like an alpha ball, you could use that. Or if you have a lacrosse ball, also works. Or what's that other sport? Something else. What is this sport? Baseball. Baseball. As you can tell, I'm not American. This is not my sport. All right. So anyway, a baseball ball would work as well. Okay. So whatever you have. Roll. Cross. Okay. So again, glide and drop. Okay, and you can start moving down a little bit. So we're going to take it to the upper and outer part of your glute. Next, we're going to get into the glute medius minimus, so kind of deep in there. Right now, you're scrubbing and you're getting into the piriformis. So the piriformis starts right at your sacrum, and then it moves laterally to the outer, okay? So here we go. One more time here, glide drop. And then we'll stay on the outside, okay? I'm gonna grab my block again for this one. So you're gonna elevate your head, just because it's a little more comfortable here. Let me check the time. Okay. So next week, by the way, so we are doing this class every Tuesdays, and next week I will work more on the upper body. So next week we will be doing more of the thoracic spine, get into the trapezius, supraspinatus, and some of these fun muscles, okay? So right now, release the head onto the block, and then straighten your right leg out so it's at an angle, and your left knee's pointing up, okay? So that's the nice position to start. And you have those two balls, by the way, let me show you here. It's so hard to see. So you have the two balls. So if you have like shallow jeans, low-waisted jeans, sorry, shallow pockets. Gosh, this is filmed. Right there. So you want the balls to be here, okay? And again, you could use one bigger ball, or those two stacked vertically, they work just fine, okay? So here. So you're gonna push that foot into the ground, activating that glute, and then release, let it go. Okay, one more time. Push. Pinky edge of your foot, press it down. And then slowly release. Now flow the right leg up. So make sure that leg is at an angle, and then maybe circle your leg a little bit. All right, so you take it up and around. So make sure there's no tension here in the neck. That's why I like using that little stage here. Okay, and then one more time. So you're gonna keep your leg hovering off the ground here. And let's rotate your leg in and out a couple times. And then keep your leg in a slight turn out. Bend your back knee as you pull the leg back and straighten it to the front. Okay. So getting also some hip mobility. One more time. Then you're gonna bend that right knee, we'll cross the right leg over. Okay, so back to that figure four stretch we did before. And here you can start to pivot your body over the ball. Okay, so you move a little bit side to side. Okay, so you can keep your head supported on the block. Make sure that this is comfortable on your neck, obviously, that you're not tweaking the neck in the process. And if you wanted more, you can come up onto your hands or your elbows, and then you could roll. Okay. So as you see with the two balls, I kind of have to readjust them because they kind of slip out of place. But good stuff here, just getting deep into those rotators, those hip rotators that we work on a regular basis. Okay, so just scrub, roll it out. One more breath here. Okay, and slowly uncross your leg. Okay, straighten your leg, shake it out, second side, all right? So if you know you're gonna need the block, have it close by, face up to start, and have the two balls side by side vertically to the left of your sacrum. So deep inside of the glutes. Pause here. And then we'll start to sway. Now your hips will move right as your left knee drops. And then you come back to center. So again, we glide and drop. So I kind of like having those two balls for when I do this one because you can really get a little bit more width, right? So you can get a little bit more width. For sake of another word. All right, so here we go. Roll. And then back in. Again, glide and drop. Maybe travel downtown a little bit. Okay, one more. And now we'll stay on the outside. Okay, right there. Face the side. So this is when you can use your block. And then bring the balls up a little bit. So we're a little bit higher up. Then we'll straighten that left leg. So again, the more you lean to the side here, the more obviously direct, more weight straight down the ball. Flex that left foot, right knee standing so you can stabilize here. And let's actively push that left pinky edge of your foot into the ground. And then release. And then again, push, activate. So feel the muscles turn on right on the outer hip, right? Outer glute. And release. Now bring your left leg up. Maybe little circles. Up and around. One last. We'll keep your leg hovering off the ground. And here we'll spin your leg in and out. Rotate. Open. Keep your leg externally rotated slightly and then bend your knee and then straight. Sweep it back. Pull it front. One more time. Pull. Bend. Sweep. Cross that left ankle above your right knee and massage. Move sideways. Getting into the piriformis again. Okay, you can stay here or come up. So I'm gonna have you finish with one last thing on your back. Kind of a nice, well-rounded stretch for the parts that we were after today. So getting into like those hips, the back, little bit of the T-spine rotation and of the shoulder, the front shoulder stretch. All right. So just a few moments here. Okay. One more. Awesome. And uncross your leg, remove the balls. Let's lie down onto your back. Okay. Okay, so we'll bring your right knee to your chest. And bring your hands behind your your thigh, and straighten your right leg. Stretch your left leg long if you'd like. You can keep your left knee bent for now. Bring the leg towards you. Okay, so I didn't focus a ton on the hamstrings today. So right now, just stretching a little bit into the calf. As you drive the heel up, pull the pinky edge of your foot towards your shin bone. And lacing those fingertips behind your hamstring, actively push into your hands. And then bring your leg a little closer, release. And again, actively push your thigh into your fingertips. We'll contract, relax here for the hamstrings, and then bring the leg closer to you. From here, bend your right knee. And let's take the right knee across to your left side, okay? So getting that spinal twist. You may have to shimmy your hips to the right a few inches. Okay, now bend your left knee and deliver your foot to your hand. So you're gonna do a couple things here. The first thing you'll do is you'll push your right knee into your left hand, and you'll push your right foot, left foot into your right hand. Push into your hand, create tension with your body, and then release. And then one more time. So push the top knee into your top hand, and the left foot in your right hand. Actively push, and then release. Melt the right shoulder down, turn your head to the right. Okay, so as you can see, we're getting into the back, getting into the outer hip, getting into your thoracic spine, and into the right hip. Just give it a couple more breaths here. Keep the right hip moving forward, away from your right shoulder. Same space we were trying to create on the side of our back. One more inhale. And exhale fully. Release the foot. Release the top knee. Square off your hips. Okay. Stretch both legs. Bring your left knee to your chest. Hug it in. Hands behind your left hamstring now. Straighten your left leg to the sky. Good. Flex that foot, actively reach. Relax your shoulders. And then push the left thigh into your hands. And then slowly release, bring your leg a little closer. Again, actively push. And release, pull the leg in. All right, from here, bend your left knee, hug. And let's take the left knee over to your right side. Again, you may have to scoot your hips to the left a few inches. Now you could certainly stay here, right? I like to include this one where I bend my right knee and I place my right foot in my left hand. Okay, And here we're gonna make it more active to start, so that little activation of the muscle. So you're gonna push the top leg into your top hand, into your right hand, and then actively push your right foot into your left hand. And then release. Melt it down. Draw the heel closer to you. Right heel, that is. And then one more time here. Actively create tension. Top knee, push it into your right hand. Right foot in your left hand. And then release. Melt it down. Bring the right heel closer to your buttock if you can. Squeeze your right glute ever so slightly and melt your left shoulder down. And then maybe you'll rotate the head, left ear towards the mat. Nice deep, long inhale. And soft exhale. And just one more here. Inhale. And then exhale. Slowly release. Come back to center. Square up the hips. Take both arms overhead, legs straight. Lace the fingers. Actively reach your heels. Arms go back overhead. Nice big stretch. Okay, and hug your knees in. All right. Roll to your side and come on up. Okay, so we are officially done with this first class back. Feel free to communicate anything you would like us to do going forward, but my Tuesday class again will be a stretch. My Thursday 12:30 is more of a body weight, so you don't need any props in this class, and it's kind of a total body, doing some functional movements, some strengthening, tiny bit of cardio. It's not gonna be heavy cardio, but certainly movement. And Friday at 3:30